Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome back to the show. Now, I hope everyone had a great New Year's. And to start off, we have yet another giveaway announcement. This time, I'll be giving away 5, count them 5, of these Larry Elder Show mugs. And who doesn't want to have a Larry Elder Show mug? So make sure you go to winlarry.com right now to enter the giveaway. I'll be announcing the winners this month, January 20th, live on the Larry Elder Show on Epic TV. So be sure not to miss it. Again, that's winlarry.com. Got that? And of course, thank you to everyone who signed up for the last giveaway. We love engaging with you guys, so please let me know in the comments what you want to see next. Now, let's get into today's show, shall we? Well, here's what Joe Biden said back in 2018.
All right. Jessica, I want you to listen to some sound that we have from Joe in 2018, I believe.
Look, here's my understanding, and I don't know. I don't have access to classified information anymore. I don't get briefed every morning by the agency.
Now, you're not going to believe this. After the 10 documents were found in the Joe Biden Center, NBC reports, and I'm quoting, aides to President Joe Biden have discovered at least one additional batch of classified documents in a location separate from the Washington office he used after leaving the Obama administration, end of quote. At least one additional batch in location separate from the Washington office?
Damn!
How many docs, pray tell, constitute a batch? Certainly more than one, but less than what? Less than 10? 20? 300? Why, that would be as nearly as many as Trump had at Mar-a-Lago. Not good.
We surely got trouble right here in River City.
Now, you know Biden's in trouble when the Trump-hating late-night comics start to pile on.
And if you don't mind, we're going to get to the news. President Biden said yesterday that he was surprised by the news that classified documents were found in his old think tank office, and added he wasn't sure what was in the files. Yes, the old grandpa caught shoplifting maneuver. What's that? There's something in my pocket. Oh, Charleston Chew. How could that happen? After classified documents were found in his old think tank office, President Biden said yesterday, "People know I take classified documents, classified information seriously." He then added, "Even the aliens at Area 51 know that. Damn it!"
It turns out the second batch was found in Biden's Wilmington garage. NBC also reported, quote, since November, after the discovery of documents with classified markings in his former office, Biden aides have been searching for any additional classified materials that might be in other locations he used, end of quote. Other locations? Again, this shows you just how smart the press secretary was when she was first asked about the 10 documents and was asked whether or not there might be any more. She refused to say that's all there is.
Can you say with certainty to the American people that President Biden, in his time as president, has not mishandled, improperly stored, done anything improper with classified information?
No, and then I'm going to move on.
Now, I don't know. There might be some more. Hard to say. I'm going to move on. Not going to box me into a corner. Now, let's get back to the Biden Penn Center, the think tank, where 10 classified documents were found. The Biden Penn Center took millions from the Chinese government. How many millions? Reportedly 54 million. And the Biden Center paid the big guy an annual salary, some say, of $1 million. Who pays Joe Biden $1 million to think? And remember when Biden was VP, he took son Hunter on Air Force Two, after which Biden came back with a multi-million-dollar deal. So how compromised is the big guy?
Hunter Biden and a former Biden aide invested in 2 Chinese companies with ties to the top levels of the Chinese Communist Party and its military. Emails show that as recent as 2017, Hunter's private equity firm held a 5% stake in Harv's amusement parks and interest in Harv's sports and entertainment. Both are backed by China's development bank tied to the Chinese military. The emails added that Harv's was partnering with NBA stars Magic Johnson and LeBron James in 2016 to host an NBA global game in China. In 2020, Harv's announced it was partnering with NBA China to bring basketball-themed entertainment centers to the country. No wonder LeBron James is always apologizing for the CCP. The revelation coming as more are asking for answers from the Secret Service on Hunter Biden's government-sponsored travel to Russia and China, among other places, during his time under his father's time as vice president. So far, we have not heard the details from the Secret Service.
Now, Tony Bobulinski, Hunter's former business partner, details the Biden business ties to the Chinese government and the Chinese military. He says Joe Biden knew and that Joe Biden was in fact the big guy and that his involvement has to be kept on the down low.
In late 2015, I was approached by James Gilliar, whom I had known for many years, about joining him in a deal which he said would involve the Chinese state-owned enterprise CEFC China Energy and what he called one of the most prominent families in the United States. I was informed first by Gilliar and then by Hunter Biden and by Rob Walker, who was working with the Bidens, that the Bidens wanted to form a new entity with CFC, which was to invest in infrastructure, real estate, and technology in the U.S. and around the world. And the entity would initially be capitalized with $10 million and then grow to billions of dollars of investment capital. After months of discussion, I agreed at Gilliar and Hunter Biden's request to become CEO of the entity to be called Sinohawk. Sino representing the Chinese side, Hawk representing Hunter Biden's brother Beau's favorite animal. And between February and May 2017, we exchanged numerous emails, documents, and WhatsApp messages concerning Sinohawk and its potential business. On May 2nd, 2017, the night before Joe Biden was to appear at the Milken Conference, I was introduced to Joe Biden by Jim Biden and Hunter Biden. At my approximately hour-long meeting with Joe that night, we discussed the Biden's history, the Biden's family business plans with the Chinese, with which he was plainly familiar, at least at a high level. After that meeting, I had numerous communications with Hunter, Walker, Gilliar, and Jim Biden regarding the allocation of the equity ownership of Sinohawk. On May 13, 2017, I received an email concerning allocation of equity, which says 10% held by H for the big guy. In that email, there's no question that H stands for Hunter, big guy for his father, Joe Biden, and Jim for Jim Biden. In fact, Hunter often referred to his father as the big guy or my chairman. On numerous occasions, it was made clear to me that Joe Biden's involvement was not to be mentioned in writing, but only face-to-face. In fact, I was advised by Gilliar and Walker that Hunter and Jim Biden were paranoid about keeping Joe Biden's involvement secret.
What's that? Does the great Eldersky have a pair of MYPILLOW, My Slippers in his baby brown libertarian right hand? I most certainly do, and you can too. You can't have a baby brown libertarian right hand, but you can have your own MYPILLOW, My Slippers. All you have to do is call the number on your screen. By the way, they come in different colors and they come in different styles. And then, of course, there's the MYPILLOW, MYPILLOW. Or am I being redundant? Also different sizes. Have you ever slept on anything so comfortable? You won't know until you try. Call the number on your screen or go to MyPillow.com, promo code ELDER. And then, of course, the 6-piece MyPillow set. And the thing is this. They are not only good looking, not only soft, but they work. They are absorbent. Isn't that what you want your towels to be? Absorbent? Call the number on your screen. Or go to MyPillow.com, promo code ELDER. And by the way, there are over 100, count them, 100 MyPillow products. And finally, I have the Giza Dream Bedsheet. Giza is in Egypt class. And remember, they come in different colors. Mine is white because, after all, I'm the black face of white supremacy, but you are not. So you may want different colors. You may also want different sizes. They come in different sizes because beds come in different sizes. Is Mike Lindell sharp or what? So call the number on your screen or go to MyPillow.com and use promo code ELDER. Remember, over 100 products. MyPillow.com, number on your screen, or MyPillow.com, promo code ELDER. Now, regarding documents at the Penn Biden Center, journalist Ray McCoy, who was writing about the Biden-Chinese ties long before many others did, says, quote, Biden was not present for the day-to-day operations of the center during his 4 years out of office, as he was often traveling, campaigning, or spending time at his houses in his home state of Delaware. It is yet unknown how secure the storage location of the documents was and who else had access to it. McCoy also says the Biden Penn Center got more than $54 million from the Chinese. The Penn Biden Center, he writes, in 2020 had been the subject of a complaint to the U.S. Department of Education by the National Legal and Policy Center, alleging that the University of Pennsylvania had accepted $70 million in donations from China, $22 million of which had remained anonymous. Penn never revealed the sources of those donations. The Washington Post is providing cover by saying, quote, Biden's files were voluntarily returned to the National Archives, and there are far fewer than the hundreds taken from former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago home, end of quote. Two things. One, it's irrelevant whether they were voluntarily turned over. The issue is whether they were illegally in the possession of Joe Biden. Second, how do you know it was far fewer than Trump? What? You get it passed if it's only one batch or two batches or three batches? We still don't know how many he has. And what does the press secretary say now?
The president acknowledged yesterday that he had been briefed that those documents had been found. When was he briefed that those documents had been found?
So let me just lay this down a little bit, because it's just for folks who happen to not be following this. Look,
let me just lay this down for people who are too stupid to follow this.
The president addressed this issue yesterday. He addressed it on in Mexico City on a world stage in front of many of you at a press conference with two of our closest neighbors, as you all know. And he said he takes classified documents and information seriously. He was surprised to learn any records had been found there. He doesn't know what was in them. He said,
notice how she's reading this. Keep that in mind as we go forward.
This, just repeating what the president has said. As soon as his lawyers realized these documents were there, they did the right thing and immediately turned them over to the archives. As he said, his team is cooperating fully with the review. And we also released a statement from the White House counsel's office, as you know, on Monday, which had information, detailed information about the particular situation. As my colleagues in the council have stated and said to all of you yesterday, this is an ongoing process under the review of the Department of Justice. So we are going to be limited on what we can say here. But as the president told you, as my colleagues have said to many of you, we are committed to doing the right thing, doing this in the right way, and we will provide further details when it's appropriate.
Before you mentioned you want to do this the right way, presumably that means the transparent way. So my question was, when was the president briefed? He said he was briefed. When did that briefing happen?
Again, I'm not going to get into details. I'm not going to get beyond what the president shared yesterday. He laid out what he knew when he knew it. He laid out how important it is. He sees it seriously, very seriously when it comes to taking classified documents and information. I'm just not going to, I know you all are going to have a lot of questions on this, but at this time I'm not going to go beyond what the president said yesterday. I'm not going to go beyond what my colleagues from the White House counsel shared with many of you as well on Monday. And so I'm just going to leave it there. Want to be prudent here and make sure that it is that my colleagues really truly handle this issue.
You know, I know you guys have a lot of questions. I'm not going to go beyond what's already been put out, so I just want to be prudent. But there was a bit of pushback.
I want to be prudent here. I want to make sure that we do this in the appropriate way.
We're going to ask them because that's our job.
I understand, and my job is to answer your questions. So here we go. Let's go.
We asked this is because on like day 2 of this administration, when he swore all of you in, the president said, quote, I'm going to make mistakes. When I make them, I'll acknowledge them, and I'll tell you, and I'll need your help to help me correct them. So you're the one here talking to us about this. That's why we're asking you. So let's just remember that. When he was asked yesterday,
Ed, we don't need to have this. We work very well together. We don't need to have this kind of confrontation. Ask your question, and I will answer them the best that I can.
Part of the reason we're laying that out is because you're laying out your part of the job. We're laying out our part of the job.
I know, but I'm just saying that we don't need to have contention. You don't need to be contentious with me here, Ed.
The president was asked yesterday, but did not answer this part of the question. Why didn't he or someone in the White House inform the American people when these documents were discovered on November 2nd? Did it have anything to do, because people are asking this part of it, did it have anything to do with the fact that the election was just a few days away?
Again, Ed, this is under review by the Department of Justice. It is literally under review right now. As I am talking to you, it is under review. So I'm not going to get beyond the process. I'm not going to get beyond what the president said.
Even the left-wing media are beginning to push back. And today, Biden publicly addressed this issue.
Okay. Classified material next to your Corvette. What were you thinking?
Let me, I'm going to get a chance to speak on all this, God willing, soon. But as I said earlier this week, people, and by the way, my Corvette's in a locked garage, okay? So it's not like you're sitting out in the street. But at any rate,
was in a locked garage.
Yes, as well as my Corvette. But as I said earlier this week, people know I take classified documents and classified material seriously. I also said we're cooperating fully and completely with the Justice Department's review. As part of that process,
notice he's reading.
My lawyers reviewed other places where documents from my time as vice president were stored, and they finished the review last night. They discovered a small number of documents of classified markings in storage areas and file cabinets in my home and my personal library. This was done in the case of the Biden Penn. This was done in the case of the Biden Penn Center. The Department of Justice was immediately, as was done, the Department of Justice was immediately notified, and the lawyers arranged for the Department of Justice to take possession of the document. So we're going to see all this unfold. I'm confident. Thank you very much.
How you doing? Good to see you. Exit stage right. And now A.G. Garland has appointed a special counsel to investigate Biden's mishandling of these classified documents. Garland had no choice. Special counsel for Trump, but not for Biden? Please. He had no choice. By the way, any comment from Barack Obama? Any comment from Hillary server in the private basement, Clinton? Any comment from Nancy Pelosi? Any comment from Chuck Schumer? Buckle up. I bet you anything there's more coming. And that's the elder statement. When we come back, is Biden planning on banning gas stoves? Now be sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button and scroll down and make sure you're on our email list. Why? Well, because every now and then, believe it or not, YouTube mistreats some of our videos. You may not see them unless you are on our mailing list. Also, there's a big donate button. Feel free to hit that and throw a little something in the tip jar. Remember, LarryWithEpic.com, LarryWithEPOCH.com.